So before I jump into the content, before I start talking about this interesting scenarios which I prepared for you guys in this video, please do me a favor and destroy that like button. And to those individuals watching this for the first time, hit that subscribe button. Thank you very much. Now, first thing first, if you monitor the price action of Bitcoin in a smaller time frame, you can see guys, Bitcoin is doing its absolute best to hold the support from this CPI trend line and break higher, because once this top CPI line gets broken, the upcoming days for Bitcoin actually looks very bullish because upper trend line only gets broken when the price is preparing itself for a continuation, which might look somehow like this. Yes guys, Bitcoin, if it wants to continue with this bullish continuation pattern, then it must find support above this top CPI line, which sits around 86,000. Finding support above this top CPI line, which previously rejected us, as you can see here, finding support above this trend line means we are ready for a new continuation, which could bring the price of Bitcoin near to this monthly R1 line for the month of April, which is around 92,800. Yes guys, Bitcoin has a very high possibility of hitting above 90,000 if 86,000 resistance in the medium short term gets flipped into proper support, because we are aware it's not just only this CPI trend line pointing us. Once 86,000 gets broken, we might be preparing ourselves for a continuation above 90,000. But even with the help of this descending broadening wedge, because descending broadening wedge is a bullish continuation pattern, and even according to this bullish continuation pattern, you can see Bitcoin has already broken out of this resistance line. The upper trend line previously rejected us. In our case, we are clearly above it. Now, once this resistance or 86,000 gets flipped into proper support, Bitcoin has a very high possibility of showing a continuation above 90,000. Yes guys, Bitcoin has a very high possibility of breaking above 90,000 once the resistance which is holding us around 86,000 gets broken. And not just only because of this CPI trend line in a 4-hour time frame, not just only because of this daily time frame, even in a weekly time frame, we can see Bitcoin has already broken out of this upper trend line. This upper trend line here in a bigger time frame rejected us a couple of times. But in our case, this is a clear breakout. So if we manage to remain inside the CPI trend line and price also manages to break out of this 86,000 resistance, then Bitcoin after that could be following this bullish continuation pattern, just like as shown here in an example. I mean, a bullish breakout and Bitcoin hitting above 90,000, even nearing to a new high. Yes, you heard that correctly guys. If it breaks out of this 86,000, you can see for the month of May, Bitcoin could be preparing itself for a continuation which could be bullish, because CPI trend line support will be broken, and price breaking above this trend line means the upcoming month will be forming ascending CPI. Because if you look at this megaphone pattern or broadening wedge pattern, you can see the upper trend line from this broadening wedge pattern will be around 86,000. So breaking out of 86,000 means Bitcoin has a very high possibility of forming a continuation which might look somehow like this. So please guys, please wait until certain line of support and resistance gets broken before jumping into any trades. But if we simply look at this price action using our indicator, I mean this Williams alligator indicator, things are looking very interesting. I mean, this is a formation of a bullish crossover, green line appearing at the top, blue line at the bottom. And in the past price action, whenever we have seen that playing out, green line at the top, blue line at the bottom, the price of Bitcoin has done very bullish. Here, right? But whenever you see the blue line at the top, green line at the bottom, it is a sign of reversal. But in our case now, after this bearish crossover, we are forming a bullish cross. And along with this bullish cross, even MACD is turning bullish. This is a bullish MACD cross, and RSI has managed to come across 50, which is great guys. So if this remains, if the price manages to hold inside the CPI trend line, this bullish continuation pattern will also play out. And any sort of a pullback, this same trend line which during downtrend acted as resistance will be acting as support for Bitcoin. And parallelly, Bitcoin is also above this central line from Bollinger Band. Yes, this central line from Bollinger Band during downtrend acted as a resistance. But since we are above it, any sort of a pullback, the same trend line will be acting as support. Support from this Williams alligator indicator, support from this central line, support from this CPI trend line. Now we are building proper support above 80,000. So this is a great sign. So guys, if this remains, if the price manages to remain above this support area, even after some pullback, we are still expecting Bitcoin to show a continuation, which might look somehow like this, because I have been very clear with you guys. Even if the worst case starts playing out, instead of a bullish break, starts breaking down even below 80,000, that could be a great buying opportunity in a bigger time frame, because according to this bigger time frame, Bitcoin might be forming a reaccumulation phase or an accumulation phase, which could be a beginning of a new uptrend. So if we want to see an actual continuation, just like I shown here an example playing out, even in the worst case, you can see, I mean, Bitcoin breaking below 80,000, heading towards 70, 75,000, that could be a great buying opportunity in a bigger time frame, because that could be a final pullback, a creek before expecting a continuation, which might look somehow like this. So if you have any doubt, I suggest you guys to simply zoom out. But in the medium short term, we need Bitcoin to remain inside the CPI trend line, and for an actual bullish continuation to break the resistance around 86,000. Once this resistance gets broken, you can see the upcoming days for Bitcoin actually looks very, very bullish. So these were some of the quick updates that I wanted to share with you in this video. If you enjoyed my vlog, then please guys, do not hesitate to destroy that like button, and to those individuals watching this for the first time, to hit that subscribe button. And by saying this, I'm signing out until next time. Bye bye.